Now a judge has ruled that all of the defamation charges have been dropped. They're all gone. Everything's done, and Blake Lively's team is dancing to the heavens. They're celebrating. They're popping the champagne today. They actually came for this. The $400 million lawsuit's gone, and their camp said today's opinion is a total victory and a complete vindication for the Lively team. As we've said before, from day one, this $400 million lawsuit was a sham, and the court saw right through it. We look forward to the next round, which will be seeking attorney's fees, damages, and punitive damages against the Justin Baldoni's team, and also the Wayfair parties, his production company, and everybody that went against them. And then here's what it came down to. In case you're wondering why this was thrown out, he had that $250 million defamation lawsuit against the Times, too. That's also gone as well. Now, it's not completely done, but it's pretty much game, set, match for her. What a judge said on the stealing. Now, one of his big things he was saying was he was forced to change his script. She boycotted his set. She took everything over, and she used power to influence him to change everything and change his whole production. Now, they had claimed civil extortion through that, right? And the judge came forward and said that doesn't constitute for civil extortion, because civil extortion is if a plaintiff is giving property and money under a threat and then tries to get it returned. That is what civil extortion is. And they said what Lively was doing was just renegotiating and doing some hard bargaining in order to work out her conditions at her job site. And so they're saying that isn't actually that constitute as civil extortion. So that one was thrown out. When it came to the defamation, yeah, Queen, you're right. Queen, you're right now. I'll say it, Queen. When it comes to defamation, they were charging Lively, Reynolds, and their publicists as well. And the judge said that based off the information that Ryan Reynolds and his team had, and of course the publicists, they were giving everything they actually knew to be factual. So that wasn't defamation. So they threw that out as well. And when it came down to the New York Times case, they said this. So he had said that the New York Times were on her side, and there was defamation against him in that case, was $250 million. The judge said that the alleged facts that they had of the New York Times were dramatized. Of course they were, but there was no obvious motive that they were favoring Blake Lively in that article, so they threw that out too. So everything's gone. Now, he can actually do one more filing if he wants. The judge gave him until June 23rd of this ruling to go through all these suits and take out all these legalese that go towards this. They have until, and they say there's certain claims that they take them out and refile. They can actually refile for another lawsuit, but they have limited time. Will his team do it? Will they not do it? I think at this point, guys, his career is pretty much shot. And I think this is really going to kill him. And honestly, maybe he can come back. Maybe he can come back when this blows over. There won't be any big trial. There won't be any big lawsuit. Because I really don't think if this is thrown out this way, I can't imagine another judge being like, oh, yeah, we're going to pick it up with this new filing. I just can't see it happening. I think it pretty much is dead in the water. But I think that he is going to be hardly affected, and she won't. I think she'll be fine. And so if you're a Lively fan, you're cheering to the heavens, you're screaming, you're excited. If you're a Justin team, you're probably pretty bummed right now. I know there's a lot of people that are. But I just, to me, the people out there, I kind of wish this would have gone to court, because I think that there are these allegations that happen all the time about harassment, abuse at the workforce in Hollywood, and all this sexual assault stuff. And I think that sometimes it's better for us to talk about it out loud, address the situation, and set some ground rules so it doesn't happen to anybody else. She was very much pushing that this was bad for her, that this hurt her. She brought that whole thing forward. SAG. She went for the first going after him, and then he sued her. And to me, if you're a victim, I would think you want to ride this through for all the victims out there, but she just wanted to drop it really bad. It's bad PR for Ryan. It's bad PR for her, so I get that. But to me, for victims out there, I feel like this is truly a victimized case. I would have liked this to have gone through, and I think that it would have been good to see all the facts. But you know what? This is how it goes sometimes. Judge said no merit. It's gone, set, done. Is this the end, though? That's my question. Is this the end? Ronald, Todd, do you think this is the end, or do you think that he will actually file one more time and try to keep this bad boy going?
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up, because yeah, I do think he's finished, but I also do think that men get a bit of a break after a few years. They can come back, as opposed to women have a harder time of doing that. I don't know why. So if he's got nothing to lose, maybe he will go for one more shot. Nothing to lose. I mean, whatever. He doesn't exist right now. So, just play with it more, I guess. I don't know. I am glad it's over.
We've been talking about it so much. Even today on the update, I was like, I don't even really want to talk about this, but it's like they had dropped a bunch of charges, so it seemed like it was like made natural sense to talk about. But now it's like it's just done. It's just done.
I'm tired of seeing her face too.
Well, I think you're going to see more of her face now. I think she's going to maybe get more jobs. Maybe they'll start pushing her for other things where she was probably having people, pushing distance. Do you think that Taylor Swift will get close to her again?
No. I bet you she's just like a nah.
Yeah, I'm done with this. Yeah, keep your distance.
We're gonna go down that again. No.
Are you shocked by this at all?
I guess at the end of the day, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I am not. This is actually, it's funny. This is where my gut was originally in the first week.
It was
exactly what, and then we talked about that, and then it went to the other side, like a lot of people. So yeah, my first impression of this was true. It was victorious.
Yeah, she's definitely doing a victory lap right now. Super excited, and her team is, shouting to the heavens. Still nothing from his team that I've seen so far. I'm waiting to see how they actually react to this. They're being very mum is the word right now, which is surprising. But it's also not in this situation because they're probably trying to regroup and figure out where to go after this ruling because it's pretty bad against him. It's going to really affect him.
It's pretty brutal. Yeah,
it's pretty brutal. Angela, you've dealt with a lot of this stuff too before, like working for again TMC, working and seeing this inner workings of all these people fighting. And we've been talking about this. Oh man, we've been talking about this for far too long, Angela. It's only appropriate we're here right now talking about being dumb. But are you surprised we didn't go to court on this? Are you surprised this judge just made one big unilateral decision to throw it all out? And do you think that there's any kind of retribution that he will actually try to take?
I mean, well, like Ron was saying, now is the time. So he has till June 23rd, which is really short.
Very short.
It's interesting. The judge is also the brother of director Doug, is it Lehman? So connections in the industry, maybe.
Maybe he wants to step in there and maybe just squash us for some reason.
I don't know. Like, you have to understand, like, judge. That's why when you get like attorneys and you talk about, there's a reason you talk about what kind of jurors are you going to have? What kind of judges? What are they like? They're people, right? Even outside, what they do outside the courtroom even comes into the courtroom into play, right? And how their brain thinks, what they think about, what they do. That's why all of it's psychology. You learn all this stuff when you're like an attorney and you're working with these teams. So, and when you're picking counsel, and you find out, who's our judge, right? It's one of the first things that ever gets talked about. So, he obviously has family in the business. I don't know how connected. I don't know what their relationship is. Does he have them? I don't know if they found that out. I'm certainly would have done some deep digging maybe to make sure he wasn't like friends with these guys on some level or maybe somehow interconnected. I don't know. But anyways, I thought that was interesting about the brother with the judge being, in the industry. So with the whole thing, with having the ruling the way it is, they could have still taken this and he didn't need to necessarily take out basically what you do is like, and you go and you hear most of the trials. Okay, well, to count 2, we don't, not guilty, count 3, like you just go down the list instead of like kind of making them do this runaround BS is like, kind of a judge's way of being like, I don't really want to deal with this, I guess. And if you want to, yes, here you have this date. You can this is just a dismissal, but you can potentially go back in and bring these claims. They seem to be valid, but I'm not dealing with it. So
somebody else's problem, right?
Yeah. And if I think attorneys look at it that way that he's working with, like, okay, well, maybe he just wasn't our guy, but like, let's go and maybe just try this out because you are at stake now for, paying out how much money. So, if he can, I like, it's in a weird place, but I think you got to go for it. I think you still have to take the claims. The judge is saying there's still claims here. Not saying there isn't, right? So I think then you go with that. And he maybe didn't want to deal with this because I think some judges also find this stuff to be somewhat ridiculous on some level. Sure. Okay, you're a bunch of, sure, there is like a work situation and there's some stuff here. I'm sort of shocked at the way that this played out. However, I'm not that shocked because I talked about it before with you guys that I thought this would, any judge would probably look at this like, this is okay. Another one of these Hollywood whining stories of somebody coming over and, you know what I mean? Like taking over and they took my movie and now this, and I'm out $400 million. Like, people are like starving on the streets of LA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Not very relatable.
people need food downtown Los Angeles in a home, and we're worried about who's getting $400 million. Like,
Right.
perspective, right? So
Absolutely.
I just start looking at this like, all right, I don't know. I mean, it's reputational damage now in its finest, and it's entrenched in that. So
They're going to be going after all that. I wonder how much they're trying to get them for court charges and all that, too.
it's going to be
lawyer
crazy.
fees and everything.
Like, the fees will be astronomical. I mean, that's why it's almost like, okay, if you're already here, just go further. Take your claims that you've got and just go with it. Like, hopefully your legal counsel will be like, you know what, F this. We have claims still. If you got claims, that's all that matters. If a judge is like, you have no claims, this is like just done. I mean, then that's different. It'd be then yeah, you got nothing, you're over, it's done with, but he's not saying that. So
you think this isn't over, Angela? You think there's going to be a lot more to come still?
I mean, I think you got to do, unless they just think it's ridiculous, like, unless they feel so confident, like, this guy doesn't have the money, he's tapped out, he's cashed out, his team's like, they've got word somehow through, people are telling them they're not going to proceed, they're not going to move forward. Then, I mean, it would be like, okay, then maybe it makes sense that they're doing a victory type of thing here. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I think a lot of people were Team Justin on all this stuff.
There's a lot of people that were. There's a lot of people on YouTube that have been really coming out about it too.
I mean, she wasn't painted in a bad light, because remember, she already was the way she was. It was just, it was just shown more to people, but maybe missed it. There's a difference. So when people like to say painting a picture, I'm always like, well, no, because you're not creating it. It already exists. You're just showing it.
Very true. Very true.
A more like, you're showing it in a bit more of a, sequential, or not, so just all together more at once, in like a packaged bundle versus like having to scour for it. I mean, she's had her reputation in Hollywood as being as a bitch. So, I mean, it's like.
Bitch?
Yeah, Ronald never said that
doesn't
before.
really, you know what I mean? She's just like, I mean, she is like, she's just a bitch. Like, she's got her bitch attitude, and she talks to people.
Allegedly.
I have a question.
She's a bitch, allegedly.
Pepestar, you got a question?
Is it possible? I'm just asking. Playing devil's advocate. Is it possible that she wasn't a bitch this time, and he was doing some foul shit? What's wrong? I have to finish my thought before you say something. Relax. I said.
You were asking a question.
You gotta let me finish the question.
I feel like Pepestar. I feel like that could have happened this time. It could have happened, but the people have jumped to that a long time, being like that she's like that, and so when this happened, people that from the woodwork were coming out being like,
Queen
"This is
said
just
it best. Is she's exonerated."
Yeah, now she's exonerated. She is in a lot of ways.
Possibly. But I have one important question.
What's that,
If
JR?
this bloody judge has a brother in the industry, which he does, why didn't he recuse himself from this case?
Stop it.
He had no business
crazy.
hearing it.
That sounds crazy.
Well, it's just kind of true, though, if you're close to the case.
Yeah.
Why?
No, it has
You know
nothing.
the law? When you have something involved in a case, you recuse yourself from it and don't sit on it. And this asshole sat on this case and then threw it out.
Go to the Supreme Court. They should recuse themselves for a lot of stuff, but they don't.
This is a federal court. It is not the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
But
I
you
didn't
still,
say it was,
if
not
you have
listening.
somebody,
Listen.
if you have someone involved in the case in some form, you recuse yourself from that case and let somebody else hear it.
You should.
Yeah.
You don't sit there for however many weeks we've been listening to this crap, and then all of a sudden decide, oh, I'm throwing it out.
Yeah, I mean,
Somebody else should have heard that case and not him. I'm sorry.
But even if it comes out that he's attached somehow, then that's a problem. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
Well, and
exactly.
when you were
That's what I'm saying.
But it hasn't.
He should have
clear.
recused himself from this case up front. He should have never heard argument one.
Let's be clear. It hasn't been. Nope.
Yeah, well, it hasn't. We'll have to wait and find out, though. I think that would just depends, like, to see if that is a connection. That's a problem. But then again, people don't do that. People don't do it all the time. They just keep on cases and they do stuff and they just make judgments, and that's what happens. Valarie, Welcome back. You've been hearing all this too. We've been talking about this case for way too long, right, Val? Are you glad it's over? And do you think it's actually over? Do you think it's actually over?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it actually is over. It's just so crazy because, like we said, we've been talking about this for so long, and I know that there's so much nuance here between. Oh God, I cut out, didn't I? No, I didn't.
No, we hear you.
Okay, good.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Okay, great. There's just so much nuance between like wanting to believe victims and also trying to find the balance of like somebody who also has just a reputation for being such a bitch in the industry. Because I mean, all you have to do is watch that one interview with that one girl. You know exactly.
Absolutely.
Oh,
there she goes.
There she goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also the showrunners coming out and saying stuff, and people can change. I'm not going to lie, people can change.
Right. I mean,
happens all
I'm
the time.
surprised. I mean, he did suffer a pretty defeated blow. I mean, the fact that the judge, if you take out this defamation and this extortion, I mean, that's a huge. That's like a really big fat chunk of this entire thing. So I mean, you know, when you take that off the table, it's a very narrow route where he can go. I mean, there's still things he could. Again, there's claims there. It just won't be the punitive damages wouldn't be as high, and it would, you know, that would all kind of falter a little bit too, and like kind of this, you know, so if he can still like revise his countersuit, I mean. It's just going to be a long shot. I mean, which sucks.
I just think it'll look desperate. It'll look desperate. So desperate.
Yeah, it's a long shot. I mean, and now it's sort of like I said, we're back in that reputational sort of, you know, kind of cementing Lively's narrative. Basically, I think this is kind of what it does, and casts that doubt about his Baldoni's defense. So, I mean, that's what's unfortunate. And I think financially, he's going to have to, you know, fork out like
a lot of money.
Lively's legal costs. Yeah. I mean, if, you know, if she succeeds in fee claims, like that's going to be, like I said, astronomical. Like I can't even imagine. And just, I don't know, going forward, I think the focus kind of as the focus shifts, I mean, it's going to be like what, March 2026 for the trial of Lively's original harassment.
Yeah. That's what it's supposed to be.
And retaliation claims. So I don't know.
Sure.
I mean, I am surprised. I mean, I do feel like I'm kind of on the same page. I feel like if you have a brother that's in Hollywood and is a producer, I just feel like if there's, you really just should be like, I've got I hang out, I've been around these people, I do, you know, then you should get out of there. Like you shouldn't be involved. If that's the case, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If that were.
And then all I'm saying is, it should be done across the board. If that's the whole thing that we're talking about, somebody having somebody in the business, then everybody's going to need to recuse themselves from things.
Well, they're
and
supposed
it's not
to.
being done.
If they're closely
it's not
connected,
being done. But it's not being done.
It's true, Pep.
You know,
it's not.
It's not being done. So you can't say on this case, oh, this should have happened.
And not every judge in the country
I can say it should have happened.
Has somebody in the business.
Yeah. You can say it should have happened, but it didn't happen, right? That's what we're just saying it should have probably.
Yeah, there's probably a good chance it should have, but that doesn't change the outcome of where we're at right now. You know, this is it for them, for her. They're celebrating again. They're popping the champagn. They're super excited. They're popping it like it's hot tonight.
I'll be over there popping it too.
And there's
like
a lot
Rob
of people.
I think there's a lot of people that empathize with him on his side, and I think that's why it probably won't. There might be somebody out, obviously, people out in the industry that are going to come to his aid essentially and say, you know what?
Yeah.
They feel really bad that he had to, you know, they feel as strongly about whatever they feel about that situation. And so they'll probably give him, he may get signed back on. I mean, I'm sorry, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds don't own everything in Hollywood.
No.
I mean, like, if we're going to deal with that, then we have to talk about like a bigger root problem. And
it's not Brad and Angelina.
If it was that big, like they're controlling everything, then that'd be something else. No, it's not.
You know, these aren't mega star. I mean, there's not the mega, like they're not Tom Cruise. They're not like at that level of.
They're B.
Yeah.
They're. I mean, I'm not just trying to talk crap on them. I'm just saying.
No.
I'm not trying to talk crap on them either. You better watch out.
Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, they came after Ronald hard about the Taylor Swift stuff before, Ronald, and some of the comments about you coming at you hot, talking bad about Tay Tay.
Yeah.
Oh,
No such thing as bad publicity.
Gotta slow that down. Talk about Tay like that.
I slowed that
a
roll.
lot of people don't like her that I
don't get that.
hear.
That's weird.
I just
to
don't
me.
think she's the most attractive
Really,
thing.
I don't know.
There he is again saying it. There it goes.
I don't
He's
know.
getting
Don't
it again.
come at me.
I don't think she cares if people like her. She's a smart woman and she's getting the work. She's putting the work in and getting it done.
Well, her fans sure cared.
Her fans were not
so
happy with you,
true.
Ronald, when you came after her looks. They're like, what does he know? And I'm like, whoa. And you guys, none of you guys
Look
are
at him.
lookers. I'm like, that's what I said. None of you guys are lookers. What
Well,
are
he
you doing?
doesn't have
What
to
did you
sleep
say,
with her,
Ron?
so he's entitled to his opinion.
Well,
Yeah.
Ron, what'd you say? Her hair? What?
I mean, I don't know, but at least I didn't say at least I don't have to wake up with that face every morning. I mean, it could have been a lot worse.
yeah, you could have said she looked like
Yes.
Napoleon Dynamite. You could have said that, but
Oh, Napoleon.
Oh, that would be cold.
you can't.
I think I just said she's not the most handsome woman or something like that.
As you said.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
I think
I
she's
know,
very
I know.
attractive, but that's the picture people put out for all the time. It's sad, but yeah.
What goes around
you
comes around.
I think Blake's hot.
I wish you would
Blake's
get
hot.
rid of those
Blake's hot.
bangs.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
God.
Well, I mean,
I know.
she's better looking after multiple plastic surgery rounds.
I might have said something like that too.
You know, but I mean,
Ouch.
Ouch!
I
Yeah.
might have said something like
she always
that.
has that really she always has that I don't know what you want to call it, like that. Oh, I will.
Cherub?
Call it. She has the perfect town look. The movie The Town that she played in with Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Her
Oh,
character
yeah.
in that, she looks great as that.
Yeah. I think she's.
I'll
I
just
get-
leave it there. You guys can look and see what her role was.
I get why Ryan Reynolds and her got together. I understand. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
they're both celebrating. There's a lot of people that are celebrating this right now. I know the chat's like, it's done. It's done. Pepestar is apparently celebrating. He's popping champagne, which a lot of people are. I'm still indifferent about this. My biggest thing, as I always say, is when allegations of this come forward, I like this to actually be gone through completely so we can stop this stuff from happening. Because when people don't feel safe on set, it's a problem. We should be it should be like any other business out there. If you're working on set, your professional work environment, there should be no harassment, no hanky-panky, no funny fucking shit going down, because that's going to ruin everything for everyone. And honestly, the day we should be safe at work. That's it. And that's why I'm bummed this is not going forward. But
Gotcha.
win for you, Blake. Win for you. And I hope at the end of the day, if all this was true and this happened to you, which I'm not saying it didn't, but if it did, I hope that you're actually celebrating that you got, hopefully when you start this, you're getting what you wanted out of this whole outcome. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pepestar needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.
Cruise control.